What is your view of the future of geothermal energy development in Puna to serve the energy needs of the Big Island? And you can open that up to energy in general.
Well, I think that the Puna geothermal plant, after many years of a little bit of problems, I would say they've solved most of the problems for delivering energy to our Hawaiian electric grid. Do I think that it's completely safe? No. Do I think that our issues with geothermal are at an end? I think that we need to be diligent. However, right now, geothermal is providing this county with the ability to have consistent power 24 hours a day. When they were still going through the throes of their developmental stage, we were going through brownouts. I think geothermal is the future of one of our alternative methods of energy development. I think that if we looked at providing for outside of Puna,
geothermal is the future. They're currently providing 30 megawatts of energy. They have the capabilities of providing 200 megawatts of energy. 200 megawatts of energy would provide this entire county with cheap, efficient, reliable energy and would save you hundreds of dollars in your electricity costs. They also have the capabilities of going up to 1,000 megawatts of energy, which means they could export geothermal energy to the neighbor islands and provide Maui and or Oahu County with enough energy. Is it a good energy source? It's an excellent energy source that has not been utilized properly. And we can do a lot more with it. We should be doing a lot more with it. Puna Geothermal also gives Emily Nauli here $50,000 a year to do whatever she wants with it because they have so much money going into their royalty funds.
Thank you. Kaneo?
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Puna Geothermal is a valuable asset for our community. That goes without saying, valuable. I believe that part of the pilikia we had in the beginning was because protocol wasn't put in place before they came in. Secondly, cultural issues surrounding Puna Geothermal played a big role, which if proper protocol was put into place in the beginning, they would not have had as much problems as they did. Education, proactive education, the proactive education was not put in place to educate our community. That's been years ago. And yes, geothermal is a valuable asset to addressing our fossil fuel use. And yes, geothermal, with the proper support and lobby, we can have that become part of our community without...
To Emily?
I just wanted to say, if you don't know what happened in the past, I was actually arrested 3 times because of geothermal. I didn't think it was appropriate when it was having problems back in the past. So, but now, as the council lady of this district, I was able to bring forth the money to be able to use in our district, $1,900,000. We're keeping $1 million in the account, so in case anything happened, at least we have $1 million. And what Wayne Joseph said was right. And so right now, the things that we've been bringing forth with the geothermal funds has been, the buses and the security guard for this place. Our council office going to be at Malama Market, 12 more street lights for our district. And then I put forward for more things to come to pass in our district. But geothermal, right now, I totally have changed my mind because I've seen it. The problems, they have fixed the problems and we're not having problems. Mahalo.
Thank you. Kale?
I'm opposed to geothermal. The risks are too high. It's a different type of volcanic power. When I was a reporter for KHBC TV, ABC affiliate, I did an in-depth report on geothermal. And at that time, it was identified that there's a lot of risks involved. That's why the monies that were set aside weren't set aside for us to use in the future. It was set aside for any accidents with blowouts that may come. The people that live closest to the geothermal plant are the people that are going to be suffering. And do we want to take that risk just so that we can provide power when we have alternative energies such as solar, wave power, and other energies available? I, for one, would not want to do that. In addition to that, on my cultural side, we need to protect our cultural rights and protect Tutupeli. This is important for us. No, aole geothermal.
And back to Gary.
Well, first of all, I think that the alternate energy sources that we speak about, wave action, wind action, solar, are all sources that we would be able to progress further had we more incentive at the power level, which is when I talk about the power level, I talk about HELCO's grid. HELCO right now is mandated to charge an adjusted fuel cost based on the cost of oil. The PUC sets those regulations for us. First of all, in order to achieve a more balanced development of alternate energy sources, we're going to have to change that funding type of source because it prohibits other energy sources from trying to be developed. And that's the bottom line to that issue. As far as the geothermal nature itself, I still believe that it's you know, you're drilling a hole and you're tapping off a volcano. They've made it as safe as possible, but I think there's still a lot of unknown. I believe that that fund should be left in an account that in case there is an emergency, call it an emergency fund. We could use some of the interest off of that fund to develop some of the things that, that they're talking about now. But I think that traditionally, geothermal is here to stay. They've got a developed area, and I think that we should continue to develop that.
Thank you much.